As a solutions engineer, my work requires me to work with people from different teams, such as the software engineers, the software testers, the BI developers, and the list goes on and on. Now, some of my personal favorites to work with are the UX designers, the software testers, and the BI analyst, which is what we would be talking about in today's video.
And why aren't you in uniform?
Sorry guys, the suit had to go and the sweatpants had to come in. Haven't you heard about the heat wave in Europe? Hi guys, this is Awhobiwom and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, you already know the drill. Thank you so much for coming back again to see another video. So guys, in this video, we're going to be having career talks on the subjects of software testing, UX design, and BI, which is business intelligence analysis. Now, let me quickly grab a seat and get into it. I started a series a couple of weeks back called Career Talks, and I did start with cybersecurity. If you'd like to check that out, the link is up here. Make sure to check it out if you're interested. So I got some comments asking for some other fields of studies. Some people asked me not to stop, and this is why I have this video on right now. So the first field I will be exploring is the field of software testing. Now, software testing is a way of testing your code in order to see if your code works the way it's intended to work for the user. So now software testing is mostly focused on the user. So let's take it for example, you're trying to log on. Okay, so let's use Google as an example. You have the login, you have the username and password, and you have the login icon, and of course you have the forgot password as well underneath it. Now for a user or for a software developer, they might create that hoping that a user would just put their username or their email address and the password and log in. But the role of a software tester is actually to have the mind of a user and test that that code works as it should work. So they will try to play around with it. When I say play around, I mean work, but you get what I'm saying. So you try to click on different things and assume that you're a user and see how the software would respond. So which is what brings me to what I said, that software testing is basically making sure that your code works, or testing out your code to work in such a way that the user, like the purpose in which it was intended to use by the user. I saw this funny clip on Instagram about software developers making a code and users using it. I would put it, it's just a big video. I saw it on TikTok. I'll put it on the screen. So now this is a clear example of what it is. So as a software developer, you can decide to make a code for a particular reason. Meanwhile, your users who are on the receiving end of this software would decide to use it however they please. So it is the job of the software tester to have the mind of a user, to test out the code to make sure that it works as it is intended to work. Now, a software tester should have a problem-solving mindset. It should also be empathic because, like I said, you're thinking about how the user would operate a software. Right now, in the initial stages or in the entry levels of this particular role, you do not really need to know how to code, but in order for you to get ahead, it is important that you should learn some coding skills. Having coding skills elevates and makes you grow in this particular field faster as opposed to not getting it. So of course you can get into a software testing role at entry level without any skill of coding, but in order for you to move past and to grow in your career, you're going to need to learn programming. And types of testing: we have the unit testing, we have the front end testing, we have the middleware testing, and we have the back end testing. Also API testing, penetration testing. These are all types of testing. Some tools that are used, or the most common software testing tool, is Selenium. Now Selenium is used because it is compatible with a lot of programming languages, so this is why it is widely used. So for someone who is looking to get into software testing, you would need to learn some software testing tools, and Selenium is one strong recommendation that I would recommend for you to learn. Of course, there are free resources all over the internet. There are different places to learn from, but today I'm going to come to you with somewhere to learn from that would help your learning more easier. Some job titles for software testers could be QA, which is quality analyst, or QA tester, software tester, junior software tester. Now, these are some key roles that you can search into whatever job search website you're looking for to see to see how relevant these jobs are or how common these jobs are in your location. Now, one thing that I always say is, when you're out to change a career path, or when you're trying to transition into a career path and you find a career that you think might be interesting to you, what you need to do is either go on LinkedIn or whatever job search websites that you would normally go on, search these jobs, try to look at the requirements per company, because every company has different requirements that they want for a particular job. Search and see what is there and try to access if you have the skills. You do not really need any technical background to get into software testing. In this day and time, most technical fields do not really need you to have a technical background. Most of them, not all of them do. But that's why I'm focusing this particular career talk series are on courses that do not really require you to have a technical background. So it's for people who are just looking to transition into these fields. Of course, you can do like the self-taught route, so you learn from YouTube or any other online resources, or you can register in a bootcamp and have like an organized learning that would help you track your progress and all of that. Which brings me to the sponsors of this video. This video is sponsored by techbase. Now, techbase is an educational tech company, and they have amazing courses in these 3 fields that I'm going to discuss here today. I, for one, know how difficult it is to transition into a new role where you have to learn on your own and you're just depending on materials from different places in the internet, and there is no like structure to that kind of learning, and also you don't have any accountability when you're learning on your own. But with techbase, they have designed curriculum and classes for 12 weeks for you to get into either software testing, UX design, and BI analysis. Now, the good thing about it is the course is you get to attend classes 3 times a week. The classes are recorded, so you can always go back to replay the classes when you're done. You also have instructors that are there for you to always contact them in case you have troubles. These courses are very practical, so that's how the curriculum has been designed in order to help you to be able to transition smoothly to these careers. And you have experts of these 3 fields having to teach you. Now, another thing that techbase does is it helps you with when you're done with the program, of course, it helps you to optimize your CV. So they will help you there at techbase to build up your CV. Also, your LinkedIn optimization will be handled by them, and they would also hold your hand for the first 1 month post your completion of the course in order to help you to prepare for interviews, or if you're interested in taking like certification exams around these particular courses, they would also be there to answer your questions. You would have an interactive class with them. They have projects that have been designed to help you to have like a real life feel of what it is like working as either a software tester, a UI UX designer, or a BI analyst. For software testing, the cost of this is 700 euros. For UX design, the cost of this course is 500 euros. And if you are in Nigeria, you can also partake. You have a cheaper cost, which is 150,000 naira. For business intelligence, is also 500 euros if you are in Europe, and 100,000 naira if you are in Nigeria. The cost of these courses have been grouped in euros and in naira, so it caters to those who are not living in Nigeria, or those who are not living in Europe. So if you're living in Europe, you're going to register with the European site, and you would have to pay that amount. While if you are in Nigeria, you'd have to pay the money in naira. Now, the good thing about it is installmental payments are also allowed, so you don't have to pay this money at once. You just have to pay it for a certain amount of time. Their website to register, I'm going to put it on the screen and also in the description box, so make sure to check it out. They are also on Instagram and of course on Twitter. You can also check them out. Now, the cohorts are going to start in August. So lucky enough, this is the last day of July, with software testing and UX design starting on the 14th of August, while business intelligence would start much later on the 27th of August. So guys, the first 5 people to register for this course through the link that I will provide in the description box get 10% off. So what are you waiting for? Be among the first 5 people to click the link in the description box and get this. And I've also checked and I've seen that the average salary to earn, I'm going to be doing it in Poland and in Europe generally. Now the salary range for software testing in Poland, for entry level, we're looking at a starting salary of 9,800 zloty monthly, and for euro, on the euro scale, that's in the European market, we're talking about entry-level jobs starting from 50,000 euros per year. Now, there is one thing that you need to know. The fact that you are in Poland or in any other country in Europe doesn't limit you to applying for jobs in only that region. The fact that you're a resident in one EU country makes it a little less easier for you to get a job in a different EU country than if you were not in the EU at all. So do not limit your job searches to just the country that you're in. Open up your LinkedIn profile and make sure to apply to jobs in other fields. The second field that I'll be talking about today is the UX design. Now the UX design, it can be called product design, UI UX design. It has different names, but the beauty about UX design is there is UI UX design. Now the UI part is just the short form of user interface, while the UX is user experience. Now when you bring the user interface and the user experience together, it brings life to your product. Now for a product or a service that is being offered by a company, basically what a UX designer does is you are in charge of designing the user experience and the user interface. Basically, that is what it is. Now, when I say user experience and user interface, you know how when you take, for example, a mobile application or even a website and you just look at it, like once you open and you see what it looks like, that interface, that's what I'm talking about. The user interface is like painting a picture on a canvas, right? While the user experience, which is UX, is the actual framework. That's how it works, how it solves the problem. That's exactly what it is. You can have a poor UI and a good UX and the product will be great, which means your interface might not be so nice. Now in this generation of everything is aesthetics, everybody wants to lean into aesthetically pleasing. Everybody wants to lean into aesthetically pleasing applications or aesthetically pleasing anything. So basically, if the UI is not aesthetically pleasing but it does the job, the product can still work. But if the UX doesn't really work, like it doesn't work as it should be, and you have an aesthetically pleasing website, it doesn't do the job. So it's important for you to have both balance. So know the UX and know the UI. Now the good thing about this particular product design field is that you do not need any technical background. You can literally move from any part, any field, and come into UX design. I know people who have learned product design on their own and it took them some time and all of that, but you can still do it on your own. You can learn online. There are so many resources, but it's different, right? When you're learning with a structure, when you're learning with people who are already in the role already. So they are giving you first-hand information. They are teaching you what they already know, showing you the mistakes that they made when they started this career. Some important skills to get into UX design: we have communication skills, we have presentation skills, empathy, product thinking, collaboration skills. Now these are the skills that are required, and for tools that are used in the UX design, we're talking about Figma, which is basically used for the design itself and also for prototyping. There's also Sketch, there's also FigJam. Now FigJam is used for planning. So you're using this to plan and map out your design. Those tools I just mentioned are the primary tools. Now if we're going to be going advanced to talk about other tools that you might need on this journey, for graphics and illustration, we will talk about the Adobe Photoshop and also the Adobe Illustrator. And there's also a part of UX which is called UX research. Now, it's important for you to document your process in your design. So in order to, the tool that is used to document, I think the most common one is Notion. A lot of UX designers use Notion to document their entire process. UX design, if you have to go into video production, you're going to be looking at tools like Adobe After Effects, and for 3D designs, you're going to be looking at Blender. Now, these tools, like I said, we have the basic tools and I went into the advanced tools. The basic tools are just Figma and FigJam. With these two, if you learn them, you are good to go, at least for an entry-level position. Now, one important thing is you also have to find projects to work on. Do not be afraid to copy people's design, and that is how you get into design. In the long run, you would need like a portfolio or a profile showcasing the works that you've done, which is why I said to learn these tools and also get creative with designs, copy other people's designs and twerk it to look like yours. When I say copy, please do not copy exactly. Just when you're learning, of course, you can copy exactly just to learn, yeah. So eventually you would have to get a portfolio, which is one thing that when you're applying for jobs for product design, you have to apply with. So you can either have like a Behance profile, or you can actually get a portfolio, which can be a website of yours. But like I said, in order to get into this career path, there are no prerequisites. The only prerequisites to get into this career path: an open mind, hardworking, and be ready to go, because these things do take time. The salary range of a UX designer for an entry-level position in Poland is about 8,000 zloty per month, while in Europe, I'm using Germany as an example, and these numbers were gotten from PayScale, in case you're wondering where they are from. For Europe, for an entry-level position, we're talking about 44,000 euros. There are so many resources online for you to go on and learn from. However, I am a big advocate of structured learning. We all know how difficult it is when you buy a Udemy course and you're unable to finish it. And it's so difficult because you don't have accountability. Now, the last but not the least topic for today is the business intelligence. Some people would normally mix it up with BA, which is business analyst. So there is BA, business analyst, and there's BI, business intelligence. Now, these are similar but quite different. Business intelligence combines business analytics, data mining, and data visualization to help a company or to help an organization make more data-driven based decision. Now, some skills that are important in this one is a bit tricky. Just like every other field, you can come in with no technical background but be ready to learn. Now, some basic skills or some skills that are required to get into BI, we're talking about SQL. So you're going to learn some scripting, which is SQL. You're going to learn about databases as well. You're going to have some data visualization skills, Tableau, some programming language, R and Python, and of course Excel is also very important. These are some skill sets that you're going to have to learn in order to get into this particular field. For business intelligence, what they do is they analyze past historical data and the present data in order to make decisions, like data-driven decisions, right? While the business analysis would look at past historical data and present data to be able to make or predict future results, right? So that's the difference. So basically the BI would focus on the what and how, while the business intelligence will focus on the why and what next. Now, the salary ranges I've also checked for a BI developer in Poland. For entry-level position, this is 8,000 zloty. While in Europe, this is 45,000 euros per year. Now, all these three different fields of studies, like I have mentioned, of course, you can do like a self-learning and all of that, but it's very important for you to check out or for you to get enrolled in either a bootcamp or to find yourself in a structured community of people who have similar goals or people who are already in the field, which is why my tech-based trainings are very important, because like I said, they are very structured. They have well-experienced people in these fields who will hold your hand and take you from beginner to intermediate level. So make sure to click the link in the description below. Like I said, the first 5 people will get a discount. If you're in Nigeria, these courses are cheaper, but if you are in Europe, the courses are more expensive. So make sure to check them out. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it informative. Do not forget, guys, it is good for you to keep an open mind and learn. And these courses are not just the only things that you would depend on, because getting into a new field takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of networking. So get ready, buckle up, and just get ready to go. At the end of the day, when you finally get these jobs in these particular fields and you're making the money, you're doing remote job, traveling the world, you will not remember me. You will not remember me. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to comment down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.